Hey, it's Captain Marvel, and let's get balls deep on this one, guys, because of totally evil patriarchy. Film begin, and look, it's Cheeseberry ejaculating sticky space goo out of her face because she's hurt for some reason, but that guy has a gun, and she's totally gonna die to death. Wait, no she doesn't, because obviously that was a dream and she's actually all nice and safe and holla. So she immediately goes and annoys another cast member, just like she did in those interviews. They begin fighting because he's training her not to be a complete dildo, but look, outbreaking the Jude Law, she forgot that this is only pretend and is about to do him a murder. So he says, obviously, learn to control your powers, bitch, but she's like, I don't listen to the patriarchy, and then straight up Kamehameha's him, even though he's just trying to help her be better. Let's flip because Cheese is now going into the Matrix, and she's speaking to a robot, saying she's ready to serve in her army because there's some evil alien dudes who could do things like shapeshift and shit, and they need to die to death. So Mama Bear is like, yep, sure, totally go kill those aliens, you could be in the army, and now she's on a mission, and she's going to save a spy whose cover has just been blown. So they land on a planet, and hey, they've just found a bunch of sand aliens, and the signal of that spy is pinging close by. So better capture those sand aliens while Cheese goes ahead, and hey, there he is, there's the spy, very easily. But oh my god, one of those bad guys outside has a gun, so it's big wartime. Back to Cheese, and they're chilling out, but what the hell? That guy was actually a shape-shifting alien this entire time who used his extraterrestrial patriarchy to oppress her. We're getting flashbacks now, and look! She's a stunning female pilot, and there's a literal slay queen who says they need to teach those men how it's all done. Even though 96.6% of pilots are men, so not really showing anyone anything. But something is wrong, because there's actually those aliens reading her mind, and she's like, but I'm an alien, so obviously they're not reading her mind, they're totally implanting false memories into her head instead. And now she's climbing some ropes, and at a significant height, and then falls off, but sadly doesn't die. But quick! Here's another memory thingy, and that lady is talking to Cheese, but that turns out that's the lady that those aliens are searching for, so like, now they know her name is Wendy, because it's on her jacket. But they're also searching for some coordinates now, which they can't read because it's all blurry. Let's backtrack because she's now awake from the simulation, and there's those aliens, but she is no 1950s housewife, so totally protests her way out of it, and is now asking, what do they want from her? And then that hemorrhoid-looking alien says they want Mama Bear Wendy, which was in her memories. But those memories were implanted, so obviously they weren't her real memories, although they probably are her real memories. Anyway, so that was easy information to gather, so it's time to escape. But, there's loads of those baddies! Oh, how will she get out of this one? Well, actually very easily, because she totally just kicks all their asses, so, you know, in effect, never actually facing a challenge. And then totally escapes in a spaceship to that planet down below. But, oh my god! The ship is breaking up during its entry, and she's gonna die to death. Wait, no she isn't, because she falls in a convenient blockbuster, so like, that planet is actually Earth. Oh, I'm shook. She's now walking around and asks the Cheeseburger security officer, where can I find some communication equipment? So he points to a Radio Shack. But what is going on over there? Oh my god, there's aliens coming out of the sea who totally transform into women, which is hilarious because this is a patriarchy planet. Back to Cheese, and she's using a payphone somehow to do a communication with the Big Daddy ship, and is asking for a pickup. So breaking the law is like, yep, sure, we'll swing by because he's a good guy. But hang on, it's the feds, because Cheeseburger called them, and hey, it's that guy who calls everybody a motherfucker. And they have a conversation, but look out! There's an alien that somehow found her, like, you know, straight up rolls out of nowhere, but he misses his shot. So they start a big chase sequence because she's gonna go kick his ass. But that alien just got on that train, so better jump onto it without a ticket and begin searching for him. Hey look, Stan Lee's on that train. I'm sure he would have loved Disney Marvel's Phase 4, but there's an old lady. So I better punch her straight in the face, and oh my god, that old lady knows Grand Jitsu, and totally runs away. So in effect it was actually the shape-shifting alien. It's later, and Cheese is reading a map, because she couldn't find the alien. But look who rolls up! It's a toxic male who tells her to smile, but that was an harassment right there. So she steals his motorbike and then rides off, even though she has no concept of how a motorcycle gear and or clutch works because she's meant to be an alien, remember. Anyway, so she ends up at a random bar, but there's something really strange about it, because she's remembering things. But wait a minute! How the hell did Mother Trucker just roll up out of nowhere too? Wow, it's extremely easy to find people these days, and he says straight up, I believe in aliens. Me too there, buddy. So anyway, she's now trying to ensure that he isn't a shape-shifting alien by asking loads of questions, and it turns out that he isn't one. So then he asks her, are you an alien? So she just like straight up blows up a jukebox, which hurts small businesses, and like, surely shooting fire jizz out of her hands means absolutely nothing to Mother Trucker since, well, he's never met these aliens before, so the shape-shifting aliens could do that too, maybe. I don't get it. Scene transmission, and he takes her to the shield crypt, and now they're being detained by that guy who touches his ID card. So off the timeout for them, but they escape because Mother Trucker lifts that guy's fingerprints, remember he touched the ID card, with a bit of tape, which I'm sure works all the time, and they get out and, look, there's a random cat. They get to the records room where Cheese blasts through that door, like literally blasts it into bits, and it was really loud, and would alert everyone into their presence, but obviously no one hears it. So anyway, they're checking out Mama Bear Wendy's notes because those aliens are also looking for it, and it turns out she's dyslexic. But obviously she also has some really cool ideas because like planes and shit. But look, there's some photos here, but hang this shit on. That's Cheese in the background, and she is totally shook about it. So she does a communication with Breaking the Law, saying that she's actually from Earth. But Breaking the Law says, no, you're not an alien, and I'm gonna come pick you up. But it's the Republicans, and they're coming to get her. Quick flip to Mother Trucker, who's running around, and then there's Ron DeSantis, and he totally comes out of nowhere and puts a gun to his head, telling him Disney are gonna lose their self-governance status. So obviously they have a big fight about it, and hey, Florida Man is kicking Disney's ass. But wait, no he's not, because Cheese just turns up out of nowhere and cheap shots him. Better run away now, and there's a guy with a gun, but he's actually a pronoun ally, and lets them go. So obviously they escape very, very, very easily into a plane, even though this is a high security base. But what the shit? That cat's also there. Scene transmission, and Cheese turns up at some random yard, and it's the literal Slay Queen from her memories, and she knows who she is, but Cheese doesn't remember anything. So obviously they go for tea, and then Cheese puts her hand on a kettle to show everyone how cool she is. And just remember, kids, you can touch kettles too if you truly believe in yourself. It's later, and the Slay Queen asks Cheese if she remembers much from her earlier life, and she says only pieces. So then the Slay Queen says that she's actually a really cool pilot who crashed on a flight that she was on, and then the Republicans totally covered it up. And now that kid is showing her loads of photos of like Cheese and her, well, like a few years ago. So obviously she's actually an Earthling, and that was a big reveal. But wait, someone's knocking on the door, and hey, he's actually a nice old guy. And then Cheese says he's actually an alien, and he isn't. Because they got bamboozled, that real alien is right behind them, and he knew exactly where they were somehow. And then he says he's got the black box from that plane that she crashed in, and he'll give it to her if she helps him decode some coordinates. So obviously she's like, alright, I'll decode the coordinates. And then they play a CD, because remember, this is in the 90s, and it's flashback time for Cheese, and she's flying a plane really coolly. But there's some aliens out of nowhere with like the pew-pew guns and stuff. And then Cheese asks Mama Bear, what do they want from us? And obviously Mama Bear says they want my work. And oh no, their plane got hit, so they crashed on the ground and stuff. But what the hell? It turns out Mama Bear's blood is blue, and then Cheese is actually barely fazed by that, although she's like literally in front of a fucking alien. Anyway, so then Mama Bear totally dies a death because she was shot by a mysterious guy. Wait a minute! That was actually Breaking the Law, who says he wants the energy core. And Cheese is like, energy core? I don't know. Oh, right. That energy core in that plane. But she doesn't listen to patriarchal men, so shoots it. And wow! That totally spit roasted her with like energy goo. And now she has special powers because she absorbed the energy, explaining how she became a Mary Sue. We're back to modern day, and Cheese is working out that everything is all twisted up and all that. And says to that alien, you guys are terrorists. But the alien man is like, nah, Breaking the Law is the terrorist, and he totally blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. So they should totally go do a jihad on him. That doesn't sound good to Cheese though, so the Slay Queen goes full circle jerk speech, saying she's really smart and really funny and should totally go off and do that terrorism. And oh, that really convinced her. But Alien Man says he needs to get the coordinates from Mama Bear's notes, and then Cheese says, wait a minute, they're not coordinates, they're state vectors, because she knows physics and stuff. They're now fixing up that terrestrial plane to go into space, and the Slay Queen is saying, this shit is crazy, it will never work. But Cheese is like, nah, it'll be fine, and you should totally come with me. So the Slay Queen says, hell no, which is actually very, very smart. And then this little manipulative shit pipes up saying, Mama Slay, you're so funny and cool, you should totally go and potentially die. So she totally does. Fast forward, and they're flying that spaceship into space. And look, there's that cat they brought along for reasons. But what the ship? There was an Imperial cruiser just hanging out in space this entire time. So better go inside. And look, there's Mama Bear's research. And there's the energy core. So into a lunchbox it goes. But wait a minute. That coffee is still hot, meaning that someone else is on the ship. So then Alien Man just calls out an alien for reasons, and hey, his literal family are here. And it turns out that that alien guy was never actually after the alien core thingamajiggy after all. He just wanted his bald ass wife back. Better not say that in front of Will Smith or you'll get a slap. Anyway, so breaking the law just turns up out of nowhere too. It's almost as if they forgot to post guards on those doors. Anyway, they really want that core, and he takes away Cheese's power, because apparently he can do that now for reasons, and then knocks her the fuck out. But it's wakey time, and she's in the simulation, and there's Mama Bear. So Cheese says, let me out or I'll burn you lot to the ground. But Mama Bear is like being really mean, saying that Cheese's powers were a gift from them, and obviously that she's a total bitch. Oh, and also, all those dirty Mexican aliens will never threaten the Texan border again. Because obviously Disney could not resist from putting politics in this film. But Cheese uses college campus protest times a million to take down that conservative speaker. Oh, we're on a logarithmic scale of cringe here, guys, because it turns out that Cheese's name is actually Carol. And she's also a Super Saiyan, and she's kicking all those Republican lawmakers' asses with mail-in voting. Let's check out the other guys, and look, Mother Trucker has a cat. And they're in trouble because those Florida cops are coming to arrest all those Disneyland pedos. But wait, no they're not, because Kitty is actually a Japanese tentacle monster and straight up murders them. Back to Cheese, and oh, how will she win this one? Very easy actually, because she has laser arms and never really faced a threat to begin with. But wait, there's breaking the law, and he's really angry, so totally revokes her voting rights. But it turns out, it's now in the Constitution, so she totally uses social justice to make him apologise for his ancestors' transgressions. But he ain't apologising for shit, so runs away. Back to the aliens, and hey, they've escaped in the ship. Wait, no they haven't, because there's breaking the law shooting lasers and shit. And there's Cheese literally hanging out of breaking the law's space machine. But oh no, he uses Patriarchy to knock her off, so she's obviously going to die, and she's going to be really dead. She is dead. Wait, no she's not, because she now can fly for some reason. And it's almost as if they forgot how to give her power limitations, making for a better story, but and then she like straight up punches through breaking the law's ship. And then it crashes. Scene transmission, and oh my god, there's that really bad guy from those other films, and he's telling those pesky Russians to nuke the Earth. But shut that front door! There's Cheese, who straight up goes, nope, you're not doing a murder on this planet, and then totally just wipes out all their missiles with absolutely ease. So obviously they're like, I ain't having no woman trying to destroy my intergalactic patriarchy, but she just like completely destroyed all their ships. So now the big bad man says, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna go play Nintendo and wait to lose in the next film. Back to Earth, and it's the big showdown, and breaking the law just stops and says like, you know what, let's just do this old school like no powers. You know, have like a proper man-to-man or a man-to-like-Mary Sue fight. And she just then just like totally cheap shots him with like probably an absolute like incinerating blast. But this is Marvel, and he's absolutely fine. So Cheese puts him back on his ship with a message to tell everyone else like, you know, piss off, don't come to Earth. And obviously that ship is actually really broken, so he's not actually going anywhere. Wait, yes it is, because she repairs it with that flame jizz spell. Because obviously she can do everything. And then off it goes. Let's head to Mother Trucker, and that's how he went blind in one eye. A cat scratched him. Big reveal. Anyway, Cheese is fucking off into space, so it's film finished. And obviously, don't forget to sign up to my OnlyFans so I can send you pictures of my feet.
Subscribe button.
It's always right.